So I wanted to kind of talk from my own experience here today. Um, just want to prepare you guys that you need to kind of make a decision of what you want after your relationship is over. You have to figure out what you want as far as custody goes, and you need to go in with a clear mind. From my experience, I didn't take the whole situation seriously as I should have. I thought that making a custody agreement was just going to be a formality. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Um, so when I signed my initial agreement, I kind of made a lot of concessions that I probably shouldn't have made um, because I wanted to believe that maybe someday my relationship would work out, or that it was just in place so that we had something in writing. Um, Pretty much immediately, as soon as I agreed to that agreement to get the court stuff out of the way, things immediately went south, and uh, things were used against me, and there was a lot of um, contention between the two of us. Uh, and at one time, it boiled over, and I decided I couldn't take it anymore, and I decided to petition for a change of circumstance. And this started a about a year and a half battle with my ex. That was probably the hardest 2 years of my entire life. Um, and I honestly I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Went through a lot of trials and tribulations. The costs were just astronomical. Thank God for my sister and my brother-in-law lending me money so that I could pay for the attorney. But they're not cheap. I think by the time I was done, I spent nearly $50,000, and nothing really changed that much. Unfortunately, being a father and a man in my state, which is New York, uh, it's really hard to convince the court that you're an equal parent. Which is kind of the reason why I started this channel. Was I see a lot of the injustices that fathers have, that of men that want to be good fathers, and just the system doesn't allow it. Um, Again, it's not a cheap experience, and it will break you mentally, physically, and it'll break your wallet. I mean, I've been done with court now for 2 years, and I'm still trying to pay back the money that my attorney required. Um, I will say that I'm grateful because I had one attorney that kind of misrepresented me and didn't really do a good job, and being naive to the experience. I kind of thought that the people that I was paying would have my best interest at heart, and you kind of realize that it's just a business for people. This is the worst part of your life, and sometimes the people you hire don't represent you in a way that you would hope so. Um, I would just say do your homework. Make sure that you find an attorney that has good reviews. Don't just settle for any attorney in the office. I would say if you can find a good attorney and you know somebody that's good, retain them. If you know somebody that's used them before, don't go into this thinking that people are going to have your best interests at heart, because honestly, a lot of people will try to take advantage of you, and uh, they'll push on you. So I would say, just when you make the decision you want to pursue custody for your child, know exactly what you want. Know what split you want. If you want 50-50, if you're okay with the custody agreement, as far as like if you're trying to go for full custody or 50-50 or joint custody. Like my circumstance right now, I have joint custody, but I have a I have a pretty good schedule with it, so it's not the worst. But because I have joint custody, I don't get to enjoy claiming my son every year. Um, to pay a lot in child support, which it sucks, but um, I'm a firm believer that I'm giving my child a better life than I ever could have had. So uh, does it suck not having that money? 100%. But I know my child's gonna have a good life because of it. And he's had a good life up until now, so I'm grateful for that part. Would I like to have the money in my pocket? Yeah. But again, it's going to where it needs to go. But I would just say, like, these type of things you need to think about prior, because if you have joint custody, you're solely responsible for um, the child support. Uh, 50-50, come to an agreement. Um, I would always, I would also like to say, like I said, know exactly what you want, put it in writing, and don't settle for anything less. And make sure that you spell out every holiday, that you spell out um, when pickups are going to be, when drop offs are going to be, when weekends, when holidays are going to be. These are things that were the points of contention that on my custody agreement, they weren't very clear. They were kind of black and white, and uh, you never want um, your custody agreement to be a form of interpretation, because, and again, the states don't really pressure people to abide by the custody agreement. So you want to have something clear in writing so that if anything does go wrong, you're backed up. So when you do go to court, but um, I would say try to maintain a good relationship with the mother of your child. I know it's a troubling time, especially if you're the one that didn't want the relationship to end. You just got to find a way to get over it. Do the work on your own. Realize the relationship is over. Don't get in the petty games. Don't do stuff that's going to sabotage you. Because honestly, as being a man, it's very difficult, and it's very easy to sabotage yourself. So be cognizant of that stuff. For myself, I leaned on my faith. There was tons of things that were said about me that weren't true, and if I let myself believe that those things were true, I wouldn't have been able to make it. But fortunately, I have my faith is really important to me. So um, I kind of knew that I know who I am, and God knows who I am, and I have comfort in that. So just you got to get through this part of it, and I promise that if somehow you're able to be strong enough to make it through it, and if you and your child's mother have a good relationship, this can be a lot easier. I would just say stay away from all the petty stuff. Um, Again, so where me and my son's mother are about a year and a half out from our last court date. Running up to it, it was absolutely the worst. I think every time we go to court, they adjourn it. They move it to another 3 months, another 6 months. Then you're compiling information. You're giving it to your attorneys. They're continuing to bill you. Like, you go to court, they adjourn it, and then you're paying your attorney for a whole day of court, and that could be a couple $1,000s. So my clear steps to you are, from the beginning, know exactly what you want, put it in writing, find yourself a good attorney, find yourself a way to build on yourself and kind of have self-help, whether it's going to a therapist, talking to a religious leader, leaning on your friends. It's going to be a very challenging time for you. So find a way to make it through it. I'm at the point now where my son's mother and I have a good relationship, and we co-parent, and we do what's best for our child. But I mean, that's not always guaranteed. So make it so you get the best interest of your kid, and you get the best interest of you, and try to make this all about your child and not about your ex, because at the end of the day, you can't get time back with your kids. So again, if you want to watch my videos, I have plenty of videos where I discuss tactics and things to build your relationship with your child in these trying times. So I appreciate you watching my video. Please comment below if you have any questions, or if you're just curious about the process. I would love to be able to help any dad, even if I can help just one of you. So hope you have a good day. God bless.